As most of you know, the weather phenomenon that has hit us in the year 2010 is absolutely insane. The amount of things that we are seeing as far as earthquakes, sinkholes, is beyond the imagination. The articles I'm covering today is simply the brink of the iceberg on what we have been seeing over the past 3 weeks. Now, there's not enough time for me to read all these articles, so I'm just going to skim through the titles of most of them. 8 aftershocks jolt Tibetan, an area of China. 7.1 magnitude earthquake. Quake hits near India. A strong 7-point magnitude earthquake has struck near India, initially triggering a tsunami watch for all areas of the Indian Ocean. Earthquake swarms continue in Southern California. Aftershocks rattle California-Mexican border region. After a 5.7 earthquake hit Monday night, more than 400 smaller quakes have been recorded. Strong earthquake shakes northern Japan, 6.2. 6.2 earthquake rattles Papua New Guinea. Arkansas floods, dozen killed in campground tsunami. At least 20 holiday makers died after flash floods swept through a campground in the United States. Second flood wave inundates houses in Poland. Thousands of firefighters and soldiers are strengthening dikes that are crumbling in a second wave of massive flooding in southern Poland, following weeks of torrential rains. 3,000 people have been evacuated from the 8 villages. Powerful cyclone barrels towards Oman. Tropical cyclone barreled toward the coast of the Gulf Arab state on Wednesday, strengthening quickly on its way to becoming a Category 5 storm. Flooding displaces 47,500 Filipinos. 1.3 million flee as China flooding kills 155. Floods, landslides kill 100 in Bangladesh. Hundreds flee Andean volcano eruption. Ohio tornado survivors finding hope amid the rubble. A tornado left a strip of 300 yards wide and 10 miles long, littered with wrecked vehicles and family possessions. Drought leaves Cuban reservoirs at 40% capacity. Cuba is urging people to save water amid what is calling a critical, intense drought that has left reservoirs at 40% capacity. Shrinking glaciers could spark food shortages. Nearly 60 million people living around the Himalayas will suffer food shortages in the coming decades as glaciers shrink and water sources for crop dry up. Millions face hunger in arid belt of Africa. People have lost crops, livestock, and the ability to cope on their own. The UN Food Program warned on Friday that some 10 million people face hunger over the next 3 months before the next harvest in September, if the harvest even comes. West poised for worst grasshopper outbreak in 30 years. Australian farmers brace for worst locust plague in 40 years. In the rich, loamy soil of the country's wheat and barley growing belt, the insects have laid tens of billions of eggs. Climate already helping disease spread north. Rising global temperatures might already be helping infectious diseases to creep north, according to the report by the European Studies. The report links warmer temperatures to the spread of dengue fever, yellow fever, malaria, and even human plague in Europe. As the sun awakens, NASA keeps a wary eye on space weather. Earth and space are about to come in contact in a way that's new to human history. To make preparations, authorities in Washington, D.C. are holding a meeting. The sun is waking up from a deep slumber. In the next few years, we expect to see much higher levels of solar activity. At the same time, our technology society has developed an unprecedented sensitivity to solar storms. The intersection of these two issues is what we're getting together to discuss. A century-class solar storm, the Academy warned, could cause 20 times more economic damage than Hurricane Katrina. Sudden sinkholes in China spark fear. While the Guatemalans are wondering if the sinkhole formed on June 1st in their capital is associated is an associated case. On the other side of the globe, Chinese have discovered at least 8 sinkholes that suddenly formed in the past 2 weeks. Many more have appeared during the past 2 months. Sinking land has created an enormous hole in front of the elementary school and swallowed an entire playground. I want you guys to look at the most popular on Huffington Post right now. See these ads right here? China has reported at least 8 sinkholes in the past 2 weeks, and the most popular thing on Huffington Post right now is a body-painted porn star playing soccer. That right there sums up the mentality of most people living in the United States of America and the rest of the world. People are not aware of what's going on and are completely unaware and are not watching. This is only the beginning of the end. Pretty soon, people are going to get sick and tired of hearing about 7.5 earthquakes and 8.8 earthquakes on the radio because it's going to be common and regular. As in the days of Noah.
יברכך אדוני וישמרך.